We're here on Chav Zayin Amud Beis, right below Tosfos Ella, Esfei, Rabbi Yossi, Bar Chanina, Rabbi Yochanan. And the Gemara is going to ask a kasha now from the Mishnah on Rabbi Yochanan. Because Rabbi Yochanan is the one who holds that Kishemesa Shnia Mutar Barishona. And the Mishnah says the following. So again, Rabbi Yochanan, just to reiterate, is predicated on the principle of Choseres Latera Harishon. And the Mishnah says, Arba Achim, Shnai Mehem Nesuim Shtei Achios, Umesu HaNesuim Nesa Achios, Arelu Choltzos V'lo Misyabmos. So if you have Ruvain, Shimon, Levi, and Yehuda, 4 brothers, Rachel and Leah sisters, Ruvain marries Rachel, Shimon marries Leah, and Ruvain dies first, so that his wife Rachel falls for Yibum to the other 3 brothers, and she's Muteres B'Yibum to Levi or to Yehuda. Okay, she doesn't fall for Yibum to Shimon because Shimon is married to Leah. Now Shimon dies, and Leah falls for Yibum in front of Levi and Yehuda. And the Mishnah requires Shteim Choltzos V'lo Misyabmos. Why? Because Rachel and Leah are both Zkukos Liyibum, and there's an Isur of Achos Zkukosa. So the Gemara asks, according to Rabbi Yochanan, Amai, why does the Mishnah insist that there's no possibility of Yibum for the 2 sisters, Rachel and Leah? According to Rabbi Yochanan, Leku Chad Minayu, there is a possibility of being Mater Yibum in the following scenario. Levi can be Cholitz Le, we'll add the name Leah here, Shnia. Leah, once she gets a Chalitza from Levi, her Zika is removed. And therefore, Tehevi, as far as Rachel is concerned, Rishona L'gabi Idach. As far as Yehuda, he should be able to be Miyabnim Rachel. And why? Because since Reuven had died first, and Rachel fell for Yibum to Levi and Yehuda, so it was Hetera Barishona. Kivama Shahutra Vinesra, meaning in the original Nefila, when Reuven died, that was a heter for Rachel, that she fell for Yibum. Later on, when Leah, after Shimon dies, falls for Yibum, then Nesra, because Vachos Kukaso, but Chazra Vehutra, now that Leah received Chalitza, so her Zika is completely removed, Rachel, Taxo Leter Rishon, according to Rabbi Yochanan, she goes back to original heter. Amalei, Rabbi Yochanan said, Achios, this Mishnah of Achios that prohibits Yibum, Eni Yodeh Mishanom. I can't justify it. I can't figure out Pshat. The Gemara now is going to offer one possibility after the other to try to make some sense out of this Mishnah. We don't know why Rabbi Yochanan rejected, that's going to be the sugya, each one of these possibilities. So the first possibility the Gemara offers is Ulema Le. Why did Rabbi Yochanan interpret this Mishnah and say to Rabbi Yotzi, My choltzes nami dektani choletzes chada? In other words, when Leah falls for Yibum, she's called the Shnia. Because Shimon died later than Reuven, then she gets Chalitza. She doesn't have a possibility of Yibum because she was Asura at the time of the Nefila. But Rachel, who fell Rishona, and at her time of Nefila, she was Muteres, then Muteres L'Syabe. The Gemara says, Choltzos Katani. But the language of the Mishnah is Beloshen Rabin, means both of them require Chalitza and only Chalitza. In other words, the possibility of Yibum is excluded for both of them. They both require Chalitza. So once again, we understand why Rabbi Yochanan says, I can't figure out the authorship of this Mishnah. It doesn't reflect any Shita. So Gemara raises another possibility that Rabbi Yochanan l'chora could have given as an explanation for this mission to Rabbi Yossi. Lei my cholzos. What is the lashon rabbim here of cholzos? It doesn't mean shtei achos, that both of them require chalitza, but rather cholzos the alma. The Tana has in mind all the possibilities of shtei achos naflu liyibum, and it means the shnios. That's similar to our structure, our scenario of Leah, who fell for Yibum second, after Rachel had already fallen for Yibum, therefore there's Achos Kukaso, then it's Cholsos. But as far as Rishonos are concerned, the Rishonos are Misyabmos. So the Gemara explains why Rabbi Yochanan rejected such an interpretation. Hare Elu Ktani. It seems like the din of Chalitza is on these two women that the Tana is addressing in the Reisha. Gemara asks another question. Velema, why didn't Rabbi Yochanan give the following explanation of the Mishnah? And this is what he should have responded to Rabbi Yossi. When it says in the Mishnah that both of them need Chalitza, the Chalitz lay the Rishona Bereisha. Maybe what happened was that Levi jumped up and he gave Chalitza to Rachel, who was the only one of the two sisters who had a heter berishona, and Cholitzle will add the word Rachel, the Rishona Bereisha. And therefore, later on, when Shimon dies and his wife Leah falls for Yibum, she never had a heter liolam. So once again, the Gemara says that Rabbi Yochanan could not accept this interpretation. And why not? Because the Mishnah used the word cholzos. And that means, and here we turn to Daf Chav Ches, lechatchila ktani. This is the din of the chalitza meikra din. As if to say, there's no other possibility. It doesn't seem like there was another possibility that they went ahead and they maybe gave a chalitza to the shniya first.